Sarah Ferguson receives fresh offers from Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie, as she seeks independence amid royal lodge exit. Sarah Ferguson, the Duchess of York, is quietly navigating one of the most significant chapters of her post-royal life, the search for a permanent home of her own in the Windsor area. Friends close to the 65-year-old reveal she is determined to establish true independence. After decades of sharing royal lodge with her ex-husband, Prince Andrew. Despite their divorce in 1996, while the pair have long maintained separate bedrooms within the sprawling 30-room mansion, Ferguson, affectionately known as Fergie, now craves a space that is unequivocally hers. A base from which she can continue her philanthropic work, writing, and media projects. As Sarah Ferguson rather than perpetually the Duchess at Royal Lodge. A source told The Times, she wants to stay in the UK, ideally in the Windsor area. And she wants to have her own base so that she can live independently and continue to pursue many things as Sarah Ferguson. The catalyst for this move is Prince Andrew's formal submission of notice to vacate Royal Lodge, following months of pressure from King Charles to relinquish the property due to its £3 million annual upkeep and security costs. Expenses the king is no longer willing to subsidize from the royal purse. Although the lease requires a minimum 12-month notice period, meaning Andrew remains responsible throughout 2026. Buckingham Palace sources anticipate he will depart in the first quarter of the year. The Duke, however, appears in no rush, reportedly disinclined to hasten what will be a monumental relocation after 22 years in the Grade II listed home. In this transitional period, Ferguson's daughters have rallied with generous offers. Princess Beatrice, 37, has made available a beautifully converted granny annex at her £3.75 million Cotswolds estate, a former cattle shed elegantly refurbished by her husband Edoardo Mappelli Mazzi's design firm, Banda Property. The standalone dwelling boasts modern amenities, rustic charm, and proximity to Beatrice's growing family, daughter Sienna and stepson Wolfie. Meanwhile, Princess Eugenie, 35, has suggested her mother use their Portuguese holiday villa in the Comporta region as an occasional retreat. A sun-drenched escape complete with pool and ocean views. Yet those in Fergie's inner circle emphasize neither option suits as a permanent solution. She loves her girls dearly and appreciates the gestures, one friend said. But the Cotswolds is too far from her London commitments and friends. And Portugal is lovely for holidays but not for year-round living. She needs something rooted in Windsor, close to the grandchildren, the corgis, and the life she's built. The logistics of departure are daunting. Royal Lodge houses a lifetime of accumulated treasures, fine art, antique furniture, and Andrew's infamous collection of dozens, some say hundreds, of teddy bears, meticulously arranged by size, and requiring daily dressing by staff in his heyday. Then there are the late Queen Elizabeth II's beloved corgis, Muick and Sandy, entrusted to Andrew and Fergie after Her Majesty's death in 2022. As the couple finally separate belongings 3 decades after divorce. The dog's future care remains a poignant question mark. Fergie, who has been their primary walker and comforter, is said to be devastated at the thought of parting with them, while Andrew insists they stay with him, wherever that may be. King Charles has reportedly offered alternative accommodation befitting Andrew's reduced status, a modest residence on the Sandringham estate in Norfolk, far from the grandeur of Royal Lodge but secure and private. The proposal has been met with resistance. Andrew views it as exile, a downgrade from his once central role in royal life. Sources say negotiations continue, with Charles firm but sympathetic, aware of the emotional weight for his brother. Fergie, meanwhile, has no such royal safety net. Her income streams, books, speaking engagements, her Tea Talks podcast, and budding production ventures provide financial independence. But purchasing in the Windsor area, where even modest homes exceed £2 million, requires careful planning. Friends describe Fergie as energized by the prospect of a fresh start. She sees this as liberation, not loss, one confidant shared. After years of being the ex-wife at Royal Lodge, she can finally be Sarah, writer, grandmother, philanthropist, on her own terms. Her daughter's offers, while not permanent, underscore family solidarity. Beatrice and Eugenie, both mothers themselves, want their mum close for babysitting duties and spontaneous visits. With grandchildren Sienna, August, Ernest, and little Athena, Eugenie's newest, the Portuguese villa could serve as a winter escape. The Cotswolds annex as weekend retreats. A patchwork of support as Fergie hunts for her forever home. The search is discreet but determined. Estate agents in Ascot, Virginia Water, and Sunningdale report increased viewings by a well-known red-haired client seeking 4 to 5 bedroom properties with privacy, good security, and proximity to Windsor Great Park for corgi walks. Prices range from £4 minus £8 million, but Fergie is said to be practical, willing to downsize from Royal Lodge's 30 rooms to something manageable yet comfortable. Mayfair or Central London were briefly considered for her media commitments, but Windsor won. It's where her heart is, near the girls, the grandkids, and the memories with the late Queen, a friend explained. This transition coincides with a personal renaissance for Fergie. Her novel A Woman of Intrigue topped bestseller lists in 2025. Her podcast with Sarah Thompson draws millions. And she's developing a docuseries on second chances. At 65, cancer survivor, breast cancer in 2023, skin cancer in 2024. She radiates vitality, skiing in Verbier, hosting charity galas, and proving age is irrelevant. She's not the scandal-plagued Duchess of the 90s anymore. A publisher said, she's Sarah Ferguson, author, advocate, grandmother. And she's ready for her own front door. As Andrew packs teddy bears and negotiates Sandringham terms, Fergie House hunts with quiet optimism. Beatrice and Eugenie's offers are safety nets. But the Duchess dreams of a cottage gate she can open herself. No footman, no protocol, just Sarah, the corgis, and the grandchildren tumbling in for tea. After 30 years of shared walls and separate lives, independence beckons. And in true Fergie fashion, she's embracing it with a smile.